we have some musical help over here by Commissioner
Those are
McFall
special sound
for
effects.
our intro music.
You can't have dueling banjos or anything, so we'll just have spring noises.
We like our springs on the. I hope that comes through on the recording. Excellent.
If they can't
Excellent.
hear anything, everyone's out there going, what are they doing?
Maybe that's not the best thing to admit to because we're going to be doing it all the time. Well, welcome. We are the Fremont County Commissioners, and this is OneFremont, our avenue to try to get information out about the county, get it into your hands, into your ears, and hopefully keep you informed on the happenings here in Fremont County. I am Kevin Grantham, Commissioner District 1.
Debbie Bell, Commissioner District 2.
And I'm Dwayne McFall, Commissioner District 3.
And we welcome each and every one of you all. Well, I was going to take a guess into the numbers of how many folks.
Millions.
Millions.
Oh, yes, millions.
Millions. And we all have our
listening around the world.
we all have our Dr. Evil pose on. The millions of folks listening.
Wait, was that millions or minions?
Minions. Oh, no.
Millions. Millions.
We, of course, with OneFremont here, we've been going at this for a few months and getting some of this information out there since the loss of our local radio station program. I know that there's been some progress out there as far as the radio station goes, and there may be a day sometime in the future where we'll be able to go in studio there again and be able to join people over the airwaves. But for now, we enjoy this opportunity to come before you through our YouTube channel. And hopefully if you get this and you're listening to this, please share it out there. That's the best way to boost the algorithm, get it shared, get it liked, and more folks can see it, or in this case, hear it.
Yeah.
Even though it's on YouTube, a video channel, it is something that you can listen to and hopefully learn something. And if it prompts questions for you, please feel free to give us a call. In fact, if you do have a question for us based on this program or anything else you have going on, give us a call at the Commissioner's Office, 719-276-7300.
Or just stop by and see us.
We'll give the warning. We have to give this to folks occasionally. It's not the easiest thing in the world to catch all three of us in the room at the same time.
Or even one of us
Or
sometimes
one of us.
Yes.
It's usually a safe bet if you're going to come in the building, you will find one of us, at least one of us, but not all the time. And so please don't be upset if you don't catch one of the three of us. We are in a lot of meetings and doing things on and off site here. If you want to make sure that you catch one of us, please feel free to give any of us a call and set up a meeting time, and we'd be happy to sit down with you and talk over whatever your concerns are.
Good time to remind our public, too, that we do have an open door policy. If
Yes.
one of us is available, we're happy to sit down and meet with anyone at any time.
And probably without too much of a stretch, I think we could probably say that about most of our elected officials that are able to
Absolutely.
do that.
Yep.
Now, our other elected officials, given their focus on their particular office and their job, it may keep them a little bit more occupied and busy. But they also have other folks in their office that are experts in what they do and can certainly help you out. But all in all, we are working for you. And so please come in and let us know what's on your mind, or give us a call, or shoot us an email. Well, it's been a little while. It's been a month since we've done this. And so we've had a few things going on. We are in the festive time of the year. As we sit here recording this, it is Monday morning, December 8th, and we have a meeting tomorrow. Actually, we have 3 meetings this month.
We do.
It's that time of year where we don't have as much to do overall, but we seem to have more meetings than we typically do because of our budget. And we'll talk about that a little bit today. But we also have tomorrow, we have our Employee of the Year.
Always an
Award.
exciting day. It's one of my favorite meetings.
Yes, it's a fantastic time to showcase the great things that our employees do. Some of the individuals that stand out in all of that, and then the one that stands
Yes.
out. And funny thing is, I shouldn't say funny thing is, but it should be noted, and it's notable, that our Employee of the Year nominations come from other employees.
Come from line staff.
And so the elected officials are the ones that have to wade through that and try to pick someone out of that stack of nominations. And it's a privilege for us to be able to do that. But
it seems like it gets harder every year, doesn't it?
it does.
We have some really difficult decisions sometimes.
Yeah. And just good people doing it. And you sit there and some of them you don't know, some of them you do know because, we work in admin and we have offices in different parts of the county. But you get to know folks, too, through their nominations, through those not applications, but through the nominations. And it's a privilege to be able to see the good work and the great work being done across the county. So do you guys one of you want to take it away, talk about the Employee of the Year, and maybe even rattle off the names of some of those folks?
Sure, absolutely. I'll take that on.
We can't give away the winner.
No, indeed. We can. We're going.
We'll talk about that next month.
Full disclosure, we're going to name them in alphabetical order according to last name, just to let everyone know. This really is one of, I think, the most fun things that we get to do all year because we have the opportunity to showcase not only individual employees, but all of our entire employee staff, because we have some amazing, incredible people who we get to work with every single day. I think we have had the opportunity over the last few years to put some pretty amazing people into place as far as department heads go. Those department heads then have kind of trickled it down and have made some of the best hiring decisions. So not only do we have amazing, incredible people coming in, but we also have those long-term employees who have been here sometimes 25 years, 30 years. I've seen 35, even 40-year employees here in Fremont County. They don't stay for that long by not doing a good job. So it's always fun for us to be able to thank these people and to honor them publicly and to have them come to a meeting and stand up and be recognized. And some of them, it's the first time that they've really been publicly recognized for the work that we do, that they do. So it's a really fun meeting and one that I'm looking forward to tomorrow. So yes, I would like very much to be able to name off all of these folks. So again, alphabetical order. We have Animal Control Officer Alethea Butler, Deputy Detention Sheriff's Office Alexis Caraballo, Office Manager for the Building Department Lindsay Clark, Agency Administrator at the Department of Human Services Wanda Goss, Child Support Specialist from the Department of Human Services Victoria Gordon, Assessment Tech from the Assessor's Office David Hankins, Victims Advocate from the Sheriff's Office Lisa Holgerson, Appraiser from the Assessor's Office Lonnie Hudnall, Case Manager also from DHS Rose Leva Tapp, Office Administrator in Administration Kathy Lutz, Clerk from Department of Human Services Kaylee Mahoney, Maintenance Worker in Facilities Ed Newkirk, Administrative Sergeant with Detentions at the Sheriff's Office Bailey Owen, and we have Custodian from Facilities Brenda Pilcher, Lead Clerk from Clerk and Recorder Kelsey Smith, Lead Caseworker at DHS Amanda Thomas, Deputy Patrol from the Sheriff's Office Charles Trenhale, Deputy Patrol from the Sheriff's Office Jade Wallace, Finance and Operations Administrator from the Department of Human Services Janine Wheeler, and finally, but certainly not last, HR Generalist with Administration Jenna Eastless. So this year we had 20 different people nominated, and I think it's really interesting that we had more than 40 nominations for those 20 people. So some of them came in, we had 3 nominations, some of them came in, I actually think we had 7 nominations for one person this year.
Wow.
Yeah, but it's also interesting to me that it's not necessarily a popularity contest. Having 7 nominations doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be named Employee of the Year. It could, because we take all of those things into factor when we make this decision. So as Kevin said, we do sit around the table as elected officials. It's not just the three of us who get to make this decision. And those conversations are always really interesting because you hear someone from the sheriff's office, who would be the sheriff, maybe making a claim for someone who works in the clerk's office instead of saying, no, my person needs to be that one, because it's not about who they specifically work for. It's about the job that they do for Fremont County. So I'm excited for tomorrow to be able to announce who our Employee of the Year will be.
Yeah. So, and the winner is what we will tell tomorrow.
And the
during
winner
our
is
commissioner meeting.
Yes.
You'll have to either come to the meeting or view us live there too.
Watch us live on Facebook.
And hopefully most of them will get to be in the room with us.
Hopefully. Yep.
And I say us, but as my colleagues across the table here from me know, I will be out of town tomorrow, so I won't be at the meeting, which is unfortunate because I truly enjoy that particular meeting and getting to recognize our employees. Again, they do just a fantastic job. Why don't we talk about a little bit about where we were last week and talk about CCI and what we gleaned from CCI.
Colorado Counties Incorporated, our winter conference,
Yes.
was the first 3 days of the month. 2 days, I guess. 1 day was
2.5.
traveling, kind of
Right.
whatever
Kind
it
of
was.
2.5. Yeah.
But where we were able to network with other commissioners around the state, as well as hear from many different vendors and organizations, and I think the biggest one was the DHS stuff that's been talked about all over the nation right now with the SNAP program and stuff like that. So it's always a great time to be able to, like I say, network with other commissioners because they have similar stuff going on in their counties as we do, but being able to talk to those state offices and different individuals to get information directly from them rather than through email or something is always beneficial as well. So it's always a good couple of days spent.
Right.
It can be a very aggravating couple of days as well because we sit in these huge rooms and we hear not what the state is doing for us, but I believe we hear what the state is doing to us.
It's not good when they're doing it to us.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's one of those things as broad as I think I can make it is when you talk about the Department of Human Services, it's a little bit of a mishmash between federal and state regulations that are then overseen by the county and actually put into place and worked by the county. Many of these different programs used to be centralized. They used to be regionalized. They were not actually being administered at the local level. Years ago, they didn't think that was working so well, so they started dismantling those things, taking apart the state groups that were doing the overall overarching processes. They were putting things back at a local level. They took away the regionalization and the centralization. And now that things are here and we are able to do things locally for our local people, the state has once again decided to regionalize and to centralize. And we had a lot of conversation about that last week. None of it made any of us very happy. It's always good to know what's coming at us. But in this particular case, it's literally nothing good.
Because it is axiomatic that there is nothing that is working so well that the state or federal government can't come in and screw up and desires to screw up. And here they are actively pursuing, I think, that goal. Now, they will, of course, say that this will be more efficient, this will be this will be that. But the services being administered down on the local level, like you were saying, a goal that the entirety of the state, all the counties and the state came together and said this would be more efficient, this would be better, and it is provable that it has been better.
So hard to get it where it is now.
And now let's add a layer of bureaucracy. Let's centralize some of these services, and
and add an unfunded burden to counties is what it's going to do as well.
It will.
Always.
And it's going to be another huge expense that we have to bear.
Which we have become accustomed to over the last 7 years, for sure.
You know, and maybe there are some counties out there that are not operating at maximum efficiency. So if that's the case, find out who those counties are and give them the help that they need so they actually can do the job that they are tasked with doing. Don't punish the rest of us who are doing an incredible job by taking that away from us.
And there are no secrets as to who those counties are.
Yeah.
I understand what Commissioner Bell is saying. Find out who they are, but they know who they are, right?
They do.
And it's not
do.
Fremont, and it's not a lot of the rural red counties, to be perfectly honest. Not to put too much of a partisan spin on it, but to be quite frank, it's those counties that are doing well, and it's typically the bigger metro counties that are having some of these issues. But instead of focusing on them, they will regionalize and actually put some of those services into those dysfunctional, large urban counties, making us work underneath them for some of these services. It is, what was the word you used? Frustrating?
Maybe, yes.
Frustrating, maddening, that this is one of those things that we are going to be dealing with over the course of this next year. One of my more memorable moments from CCI was the governor's address to the commissioners.
I wondered if we were going to go there.
We are going to go there.
I think that's excellent.
One of the things that's been talked about over the last couple or 3 years in the legislature and from the governor's office has been the siting of renewable energy facilities such as solar gardens and wind farms and things like that. It's one of the mantras coming from the governor's office is that there's issues on the county level of permitting and siting of these facilities. And in effect, the governor stood before the counties and blamed us for the lack of ability to, we're the roadblock. We are the stick in the spokes, so to speak, of getting more green energy. And as expected from the governor, there were no real questions that were allowed to be asked of him. They had questions ahead of time for the governor, and so he had already prepared for the questions that were going to be asked. And so nobody got to stand up and say the simple questions like, show us the goods. What are the receipts for what you are saying? Tell us which counties are throwing the stick in the spokes. Who is preventing your precious green energy, solar fields and wind farms from going up? It's not Fremont. And the largest energy producer in the state, Weld County, probably has some of the more active renewable energy systems going in.
They have definitely approved more applications than anyone in the state.
In the state.
Yep.
You look at the Eastern Plains, all red counties, and that is where all the wind farms are going. Nobody's stopping them out there. You know where they're stopping them? Again, I hate to go into this partisan hole.
Well, let's do it anyway.
But let's do it anyway. It is the blue counties. It is not us. That's where the problem lies. So, what's their solution? They're going to try to take away our authority on citing these things. Hopefully, they won't take away our 1041s that allow us to have some say in this over the state just completely taking over our ability to do that. But the most memorable part of that, at least for me, was the gall of the governor to stand up there and blame us as a group for stopping his agenda. There are many things on his agenda that I would love to have the power to stop. Right?
I don't think we've stopped it. How
and
can
we
stop
haven't
anything?
stopped anything on that.
No.
We have not.
We don't have the
stopped
numbers.
anything.
We haven't been able to do that in any case.
And
yeah, it does get frustrating with those canned questions and canned answers, and and still don't even answer the canned question. I mean, he still circles it half the time.
And
It's
the softball.
I'm not even sure why
questions.
they invite him to the
Mr. Governor,
conference.
tell us what your greatest
What's your favorite color?
impact has been. Yes,
Pretty sad and
exactly.
disgusting, actually.
Yeah, so we're all getting red in the face here today as we're
Moving
talking.
on.
Moving on along. Overall, though, I think it was a good conference. We have still a lot of things ahead of us in this session that we are worried about.
And
As
the
counties.
unknown in this upcoming session,
Yeah.
too, is terrifying.
It is, especially when we have a lame duck governor in his last session, and we still have near supermajorities in each of the chambers. Not that the supermajorities have too much problems. It's not like they're countering the governor at this point anyway. So it's a worrisome time for us as far as local control goes.
Especially, I believe, when you have a governor who is clearly trying to make a name for himself to run for higher political office.
Right.
So,
And there's a whole lot of speculation as to what that may or may not be. I have my thoughts, but who knows? Trying to make a name for himself and doing it. I mean, credit where credit is due. He is doing that, but not in a good way.
not
as far
in a
as
way
I'm
that's
concerned.
complimentary to Colorado, for sure.
Certainly. This last weekend and the weekend before, I think we had talking about the festive time of the year. We had a couple of Christmas parades that we were able to participate in. Florence, I was not able to make the Florence parade, so tell us about it. Tell two of you, how was your experience over there?
It was their first holiday parade that they've had, or at least in many, many years. So it wasn't well attended, but it was really cold that day as well.
It was
Yeah.
super cold. There was no sun.
Yeah.
There was a lot of wind. And
A little
that wind
breeze
was
blowing
just
right in your
biting.
face as
Yeah,
we're
it was
going
just
down the parade
biting.
route, which was very short, but it was still actually a fun time, I thought. It's always great to get out and see, and there were people there waving and hollering and being festive just like we were. But, yeah, it was pretty cool that they put this on. And in the Main Street stores and merchants have put this together, and they have something going all December every weekend. So that's the cool part of it. It was kind of the kickoff of the merchants, right?
It was great. And we had a lot of comments about how this was the first one ever. And I think they did a great job. I hope they continue it in the future.
That's what I was just
It was
thinking.
a lot of fun.
Hopefully it's the first annual
Yes, and
amongst
it
many.
builds from here.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah,
Well,
and
that's great.
And it's great that the merchants are behind that. You know, they had Santa every weekend, I think, but then different things happening in different stores every weekend. And they have a list of that. I've seen it in the shopper, but I'm sure it's other places as well. So
And the shops are all open, running specials and doing
that's really
sales.
cool.
And lots of different fun things.
And then just a couple days ago, Saturday,
Saturday.
of course, Canyon City's Parade of Lights.
Right.
And
Yeah.
we were all able to go that. And it was a beautiful evening,
That
actually.
was one of the best, warmest Christmas parades that I've ever been in. So,
We were talking about that Saturday night. It was like we were both, or all three of us, were like, the wind was so cold all day and blowing so hard all day. And even as we're walking down Main Street heading to our entry in the parade, it was cold and windy. And then we got to the truck and it was
Just kind of quit.
just kind of
Yeah.
quit. And
Yeah.
it was nice. It was just nice the other night.
it was
So,
beautiful and so many people.
Yeah.
This was one of the, I think, best attended Christmas parades that I've seen.
Yeah.
There were just people just lining the blocks and coming out into the street. They were everywhere. And it was pretty amazing. So I also would like to give a shout out to our Fremont County Emergency Manager, Michael Kroll. He always is ready and prepared to use the emergency truck to haul the three of us around, putting that big Fremont County Commissioner sign on it. He decorated it up for us, and it looked really beautiful. We got lots of compliments on it. So just a note of thanks to Michael Kroll.
and flashed his lights there to all the participants in the parade and observers of the parade, and only a few strokes.
Blinded us in the process,
Yes.
but hey.
Sirens are loud. But yeah, no, it's a really cool time. I've been at that parade where it was so cold that the kids couldn't play their instruments because their spit froze in their clarinet or something. And this was actually a beautiful night and lots of people. It was amazing how many people were out there watching this parade.
The other thing that I always so appreciate is how much community participation there is. so many groups outside giving away chili and hot chocolate and, warming stations and just so many different things from the community. I think it's pretty amazing.
Well, I don't know how many entrants were in the parade, but there were a bunch. It was a long parade.
It was a long parade.
It was pretty nice. It was cool.
Well, even after talking about the length of it, after I jumped off at the end of the parade to go meet up with my family, we got to sit there and watch for, probably another 15, 20 minutes.
Yep, it's great.
And then I get to bother some of the county employees on the way back to my vehicle. Well, speaking of our good county employees, we have with us again, I forgot to introduce Mr. Lenny Saint. He is our technician, our go-to man.
There you go. There it is.
That spontaneous applause.
Or crickets.
There we go.
Yeah, we couldn't do this without him, right?
We could not do this without him. So we really appreciate him setting up our equipment and getting this done for us.
Lenny also is responsible for the Fremont County logo turning into a winter wonderland. Yes. If you haven't seen this, you must go onto Facebook at the very least. I'm not sure if we have it posted on our county website. We should get that up on the county website because it looks amazing. It's absolutely beautiful. Yeah,
it is our county logo, but it is Christmas-fied.
He said, Lenny told us that he used AI to help with that, which is really cool. AI is such a cool tool.
It
can be scary though as well, because it was very simple to make that logo look like that with a simple question, and it turned it into that. So that's what it can do. I saw one the other day. A guy had a picture of a man sitting at a desk, and he says, "Hey, make him do a flip on the table." Well, it did that, and it looked like that guy doing a flip on the table. It was that easy. So it is scary, but it is really cool.
But I will tell you something that wasn't quite that simple. That was the decorating of this building for Christmas.
That was not AI.
Yes. We have employees here who spent an entire weekend before Thanksgiving working on putting up all of the decorations in this building. We've actually had phone calls from people who walked in and loved it so much that they felt the need to make a call to us and just say, "We appreciate everything that your employees have done, and it's absolutely beautiful." So I just wanted to say, if you haven't been here, we are extending you an official invitation. You should come in, walk around this building, take a look around. It's absolutely stunning. We also have it lit up in red and green at night. So if you happen to be downtown, somewhere in the vicinity, just drive by and take a look. It's absolutely beautiful, and I think everyone would be proud of what we've done in this building.
It was great to be able to see it the other night because I don't make it down here at night very often. But then being parked down here and then after the parade and seeing all the work, all the little, if you know some of the architecture here in this building and all the triangle theme, the pyramid theme kind of thing around the building, even the sconces and the lights have that same triangle pyramid kind of look. So all of those recessed lights on the outside had alternating green and red, and that takes a lot of effort.
Indeed. Our employees do such an amazing job, facilities and maintenance, and they're all in. I mean, they are exhausted every time they do it, knowing that in a few short weeks it's all going to have to come back down. But I think they take a lot of pride in their product, and they're all really happy with the way that it turns out. And so are we, so are members of the public. So if you haven't seen it, you got to get here.
So speaking of the decorations coming down, let's talk about what's going to be going up in its place.
We have a proclamation tomorrow on our commissioner meeting that we're going to proclaim. But as everyone should know, that next year is the 250th year of the United States, as well as 150th year of Colorado. So our proclamation will designate that as well. But then we've been discussing and how that's going to dress up this building afterwards. And Commissioner Grantham is working on that, so I'll let you kind of take some of that.
Well, we had a thought that we were going to some of my experiences, at least in the past, with sometimes the July 4th time frame up in the Capitol building in Denver. A lot of flags, a lot of buntings, just a whole lot of red, white, and blue And we're going to kind of do that here in the Fremont County building, and we're going to fly a lot of flags for next year. And when we take down the Christmas decorations, we're going to be putting up American flags. We're going to be putting up some specialty 250th anniversary American flags. We're going
to fly our colors.
We're going to fly our colors. Yes, that's a good way to put it. We're going to fly some historical American flags. You probably know all those and what they look like. We're going to try to get like the Navy Jack, the Gadsden, the 76th flag, and several others actually that are very important to us as a nation, us as a state, us as Fremont County. We'll probably even fly. I didn't know if a lot of folks don't know this. I know that you two do, but there is a Fremont flag. It was a flag that was carried by John C. Fremont as he was doing his expedition all the way from back east out to California. And it's a Stars and Stripes, but it's got a special blue field. And what it has on the blue field is the distinction for it from all the other American flags. That and several others. Plus, since it's the 150th on August 1st, the 150th anniversary of Colorado becoming a state, we will also have a lot of Colorado flags. So we're going to make a flag fest here in the Fremont County building. And it is, I can't wait to see it. But it's going to take a lot of work for us to make it happen. And we're even thinking about getting a nice big flag to hang from the ceiling.
A big flag.
Big flag.
And, if you recall, Fremont County's been a county for over 150 years already.
Right.
So Colorado's finally catching up, I guess, to the 150 years. But it'll be a
not
really cool
because
celebration.
Fremont County will be 165 years old.
Well,
next
true.
year.
They're just meeting that milestone,
That's
I guess.
right. Yep. We were a county before Colorado became a state. It was a territory when we were founded.
One of the original 17 counties.
Yep.
So, yeah, we have celebrated that. I remember when we were first in office, you here and me up there, that we had the 150th, right?
The sesquicentennial.
Yes. So that was back in 2011. And, yeah, it's a lot of history, and we're looking forward to celebrating that with our flags and flying all of those for most of the year, I would imagine. As soon as we get the Christmas decorations down, we're hoping to start putting those up and celebrate throughout the entire year.
Yeah, and I will tell you, it's not just us. I mean, there's other groups in town that have some special plans to celebrate this throughout the year as well. The Heritage Commission, folks on the
Historical Society,
right. And just they're all coming together to try to make this a really cool thing, and that's kind of the part that we're going to add to it, I guess, is what else they have going on.
And here's the word of the day.
Oh, boy, here it is. I know what you're going to do.
Semi-quincentennial.
Okay.
That is the 250th anniversary.
Semi-quincentennial. There will be a test.
There will be a test.
And then the sesquicentennial is for the 150, right? I'll say them both.
See, now you got me all confused.
Sesquicentennial, semi-quincentennial.
I prefer saying 250, 150.
250, 150. We'll go with that.
All right. I just have a couple more things on my list to talk about. Dwayne, talk about the underfunded courthouse. Let's start there.
So I think we've mentioned this in a previous podcast, and I know we have in a meeting, but there is an underfunded courthouse commission who yearly is granted $3 million from the state legislature to go to rural counties with courthouses that need some help with funding. And we have taken advantage of this grant a time or two in the past, and again this year applied for a grant. We have rooftop units on our courthouse that are as old as the building is, which is 30 years old. And they're going out, and we applied for a grant. It's a $1.3 million grant-ish, but we were awarded, and we asked for half of that money, which is $695,912.50. So we were awarded that from that commission.
Oh,
Where's
yeah.
those? Where's
Yeah,
that
we
clap? Woo, woo, woo. Yeah,
there we are.
There we go.
So got to give that hand that off to Rachel Miller, our grant writer, as well as Randy Toller, our facilities manager who worked on that grant, got that together. Commissioner Grantham and Randy went up and presented that to the commission. I do serve on that commission, but couldn't be in the room during that portion of it. And we're able to secure that half of that funds to help our building out, because those rooftop units are very expensive and very needed. I mean, we can't have those go out this time of year and the whole building freeze up or
Right.
whatever. So that's
Which
a good
would
thing.
make it far, far worse.
Yes.
if the building froze.
Yes. And then to do them all, get them all done, because we fix one and another one's liable to go out, and if we don't get them done, it costs just tremendous.
Right.
So
And it just keeps growing.
just keeps growing, like everything else. So congratulations to those that helped write that and to us in receiving that. So,
Congratulations to us.
yeah.
There you go. Yep.
No, it was and I shared this with other folks, and I shared it with you too. I came out of that thinking, oh, got limited funds. You know, it's ×2 factor on the requests, and I'm like,
We had $3 million to give and $6.5 million in requests. So I wasn't too optimistic either, being on that commission. And when I came back in the room and finally saw that they had awarded our county the amount we asked for, I was like, yes, trying to silently celebrate. So it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
So I feel the need to interject here and to say my understanding is part of the reason I believe that we were given that full award is because we did come in with a matching grant offer of 50%. Many of the counties and others that were seeking funding had a 1% match they were offering, or they had no match that they were offering. I think Fremont County was able to offer that 50% match simply because of the amazing job that this county does in budgeting every year. Very, 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 what's the word I'm looking for?
Conservative,
We're
responsibly.
very conservative, very responsible with our budgeting here. And it's not just the three of us. It starts with our elected officials. It goes down into every department head. It goes to all of our administration team. It goes to our finance and budget officer. Everyone does such a great job, is the only reason that we actually have matching funds that we can leverage to get the things that we really need and to not have to pay for them all ourselves, which in the end leaves us with more funding. So,
And I believe you're 100% accurate on that. There is no match required for these because it is for the rural counties, which don't have a lot of money to start with. But I think it showed, especially this year with the limited funds that we had in the request, those that did put in a match were able to come home with more than those who did not put in a match of any kind. So, yeah, it makes a difference.
And I think that, part of the presentation, that Randy made, and I was more of just the help that day. Randy did a great job and really put the necessity of it, put it into terms that were important for the committee to understand that, we're invested in this. We're willing to put in 50%, but if we don't get the other 50%, guess what? We're going to have to find
we're going to have to do it.
the other. We're doing this regardless. We need your help, but we have to do this. This was not a dress up the facade kind of project. This is critical systems that have to be addressed, and so. I'm glad that the committee saw that, and I think it's instructive for us next time that we have an application to put together for out there.
Absolutely.
Lessons learned.
Lessons learned.
Yep.
Yes, on all the departments in that building. It's a critical systems of a critical building. When we look at dispatch and 911 and of course the court system, obviously. So
District attorney.
Probation.
Yep. Probation is there.
Right.
Excellent points.
That ethereal voice that you're hearing is Lenny saying, the ghost of Christmas Fremont.
To come.
Yes, thank you for that reminder, actually, Lenny. That's good for folks to know all the things that are going on out there in that building. The only other thing, guys, that I was looking at talking about was I almost I'm looking at stuff on my laptop here sitting in front of me, and thinking about just some of the craziness that we're dealing with when it comes to on the state level. We talked a little bit about SNAP and things like that. Medicaid's another issue that affects us directly through DHS and the administration of Medicaid benefits. Maybe that's just another topic for another show. We could be here another hour. But I think it's important that we do talk a little bit because about our budget, because in 8 days.
Next week, yeah.
In 8 days, we will be having our budget approval. We have a series of resolutions that have to be passed for the passage of our budget for 2026. Just kind of outline those. One of those is the summarizing of the expenditures for the year, and the expenditures are roughly around $68 million for the county. Then the second one is the levying of the general property taxes for 2025. This is basically saying this is how much of the property tax that we're going to levy for Fremont County. The third one is the appropriation of the sums of money to all the various funds. And so one is defining what the expenditures are. The next one is here's how we're going to get the money to do that. The third one is saying here's how we're going to divide up that money. So all three of those are necessary functions of creating a budget for the year. And that total budget across all funds, including general fund, sheriff's fund, all the way down to even the little ones, the airport fund, all of these things total up about $68 million in expenditures, which is pretty similar actually to where we were last year. Not a huge raise in the overall expenditures that we're budgeting. We typically come in under budget because, as Commissioner Bell was talking about just a little bit ago, we are conservative, we are responsible with taxpayer dollars. And part of that is how much we keep in reserves. And that we've had discussions offline and some things that I hate to even bring it up, but things that have been said online that frustrate us. I know individually and as a group, it's frustrating. But we also keep a reserve balance for emergencies. It's roughly, I think, around a third of what our annual expenses are. So 3 to 4 months of expenses that we keep in reserve in order to operate in the most catastrophic of situations. I hesitate to even speculate on what those kind of circumstances would be, but it's a result of good management of taxpayer dollars that we're able to have a reserve of 3 to 4 months so that we can continue to operate and hopefully get past any kind of cataclysm or crisis so that we can keep operating and offering the services that we currently do to the people of Fremont County in those events, and then hopefully be back up and operating after that has passed. Not every county is in as good a shape as we are. And I say this every year. I've been here since January of 21, and my colleagues across the table from me have been here far longer, and one of them far longer.
Stop calling me old.
far longer. But a credit to them and their predecessors as well for the work that has been done in this county to get us to where we are. I know it doesn't take too much of a poke to get Commissioner Bell to talk about the circumstances when you came into office here in the county.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah.
And where you were back in the late 2000s and the early 2010s. That was not the financial situation that we find ourselves in now. It was tough.
Those were the days that, fortunately, it was before I came into office. And our commissioners at the time, the recession of 2008 and the housing crisis and the crash and all of those things that were happening, Fremont County at the time was left with excess revenues of a couple $100,000, not even enough to make one full payroll. So the commissioners at that time, that's when they went to a 4-day work week here at Fremont County to save money. That's when they were furloughing people with no pay. That's when most, not all, but most of our elected officials chose to also forego part of their pay because they felt that if our day-to-day workers, if our line staff were being asked to take unpaid furlough days, then it was up to them to do exactly the same to save Fremont County money. They did such an incredibly good job at that time that by the time I came into office, our revenues started going up. The money we were able to hold back and to save and to bank was doing better, and it fortunately has just gotten better and better and better every single year. So I feel really fortunate to be able to have served Fremont County in very good economic times. I mean, we've had our moments, but overall, when you take a look at where we were 18, 20 years ago, boy, there's literally no comparison.
Right.
Yeah, and it really did start with those folks who were in office before I ever came in. So,
right.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to even imagine us being in that situation for where we're at. I mean, but, times can get bad enough where these things could occur again and cycle around. But I think we are very fortunate to be in the position we are in. There are some that would look at our reserve and have looked at our reserve and said, well, you should do X with this. Yeah. That's not what it's there for.
Not what it's
That is not what it's there for. That is there for those emergencies where we have to be able to function as a government without getting any revenue.
Nor is it a sustainable use.
And it's not sustainable to dip into that.
Yeah.
Not sustainable to commit any portion of that money over the course of time and increasing that over the course of time. And so the state has a reserve. The counties have reserves. Cities keep reserves. And we are very fortunate to be in the position where you guys have helped put us to get us to where we have 3 to 4 months, which is, I wouldn't say standard. Standard kind of implies that this is what everybody does. Not everybody can do this. It's expected that we should be able to get to that point, and we have.
And
you
we
have.
Yeah.
So
I also think institutional memory is going to help keep us there, because there are still people here who know and who remember and who understand how bad it was. And we are very determined to not go back to that place.
Right.
And so as long as we keep having these conversations and saying, this is where we came from, this is how far we've come, we don't ever want to go back to that place, I think is very important. Just keep reminding people that Fremont County hasn't always been flush with money. I don't think we're really flush with money now either. But I think we're very responsible with what we do have. And those reserves are a huge part of it.
Right. It's certainly not flush.
No.
But I look at where other counties are and what they are going through, and while not flush, we are fortunate.
In fact, last week at CCI, Colorado Counties Incorporated, at our district meeting, we were giving county reports, and I kind of gave an update and said, this is where we sit, and we know we're way better off than many other counties. After that report, another county commissioner from one of our neighboring counties stopped me and said, can I come to work for you guys? So I was left with the understanding and opinion that not everyone is in the good financial condition that we're currently in.
And, listening to that, there was no neener in that statement. It is a statement of fact. We are in good shape.
We're doing well.
But that's not without hard work getting there.
Oh. Right. And a lot of gratitude, too. We are very incredibly grateful for all the people who budget so conservatively to help us get here.
Thank you. That's that's a great point.
It takes us all.
That doesn't begin with or end with the commissioners. That is the teamwork of a bunch of department heads and other elected officials that are making this work to this end. And so it's a credit to the entire team across the entire county of 350 employees.
Yep.
Yeah. So that is all I have. Anything else? Parting shots?
That was a lot of information right there.
It turned into a lot of. We were actually walking up the stairs here, going,
50 minutes of
about?
good stuff there. Hopefully, you're still sticking with us when you turn this on and listen to it.
It's not hard to get us to talk and talk about something. There's a lot to talk about in this county, as we find out every time we sit in front of these microphones.
I think my parting comment just would be: it is December the 8th. It is right in the middle of the holiday season. I really hope that families are prospering enough locally that they are able to have great holidays. If you need some help, there are so many local organizations that are standing by, ready to help, whatever it might be that you need help with. So if you find yourself in that situation, reach out. Someone is going to step up and help you. And just, happy holidays, Merry Christmas to everyone out there, because we will be out in other different public venues. But for this one, this will be the last one for December, I believe. And so Merry Christmas.
Oh, my goodness, for
to all of you.
2025, our
Isn't it
inaugural year.
Kind of terrifying, right?
Podcast.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, exactly. So, thank you for that reminder. If you are struggling, feel free to give us a call, and we can direct you to the folks that have the resources that are helping out in those situations. Be it food, be it gas, electric bill, gifts for the children.
Yep.
Yes, there are organizations, there are things in this community that are ready to help you. Please
will not be
ask.
forgotten.
Yes, and that'll happen. So as we conclude this episode of One Fremont, we thank you again for listening all the way to the end and making it to this point. We enjoy doing this and doing it for you. And if you have any questions, any comments, any concerns, please feel free to reach out to any of us again. And we appreciate your support in making Fremont County the best county in Colorado. So signing off for us, we are
Dwayne McFall, Fremont County Commissioner.
Debbie Bell, Fremont County Commissioner.
And I am Kevin Grantham, Fremont County Commissioner in District 1. And signing off for One Fremont, have a happy, happy holiday and Merry Christmas. And God bless.